Happy Monday, guys. It's great to be back. Up and running Rogue Actions actually on a freaking Monday. Who would have thought we'd finally get our stuff together, but we'll get there. We'll try and keep it consistent from now on. Please hit the subscribe button, guys. We really, really appreciate it. Thumbs up, all the comments. Let us know. Give us some feedback on what's good and what sucks. We can't improve things if we don't know what we need to improve. So let us know. We'd love to hear from you guys, of course, every single week. We'd really, really appreciate it. Ram is here, as always, mate. How you doing, brother? How you been, man? How's your weekend? What's been going on?
Weekend was good. Better than my week. I had a I had a horrible week, so I'm hoping this week is going to be a little bit better.
Nice.
Just some real life stuff going on, but
So basically, Ram's been consistently drunk for the whole weekend, and that's why he's had a better weekend than a week. That's what I'm putting it down to. Let's just roll with that.
lots and lots of shoeies, free of charge.
Way too many. Way too many. Straight up. Guys, we're going to jump into it. 3 topics on this video, 3 on Rams as well. Link will be below in the description. Don't forget to go and check it out for the whole story. Got a lot to cover today, but of course we need to start with the meme, of course, the mini meme for our boy Mini that left us way too soon. This one was actually sent to you, actually, Ram, through who gave us this one again? Sorry, who sent this one to us?
I found it through the Wolf. I'm not sure if
Boy?
that's the original, the originator, but the Wolf, the Wolf, the guy that likes to stall way too hard.
Yes.
That's where I found that one.
Yeah, okay. So, long story short is apologies to anyone if Wolf stole it from someone else. So, let's just say that way. Let's put it that way. But straight up, it's Crate Raid launching day again. Straight up, enough said. There's nothing more to say. With that there, right there, up and running. It's an
Didn't we just launch this 3 days ago?
Yeah, dude, it feels like I've got to just go in and do a battle just about every freaking day. That's what it feels like lately, man. It really does.
Oh, it's horrible, man.
Anyway, I know it's pretty wild, but it's the game. That's what they've got for us, and we're going to talk about a little bit of that, of course, in your video, Ram. We're going to cover the crate rate and what we can do to improve that. As well. So we're gonna come back to that over on your video. But we need to talk cause and effect. That's what we need to talk about today for those that are unaware. Long story short is Core Patrol, one of the largest guilds, of course, largest by GP, fighting it, of course, with their archenemy, Chromium. The 2 top guilds in the game. One of them has decided, you know what? We don't want to play Territory War anymore for another 3 months. Now, this is huge. I can't say how big this is. It is absolutely an enormous call. Long story short is they're not going to sign up at all. They're going to withgo complete rewards for Territory Wars basically until September. I think it's at Labor Day. I think you guys have over there in the US, I think around September. Yep. It was a public holiday that they were aiming for. So up until that point, there is going to be no joining at all for Territory War in any way, shape, or form. And this is certainly really opened up a lot of people's eyes. They've just said, look, we're unhappy with the system at the moment. We don't like how it's burning out leadership and players. There's so much going on in the game. Something needs to give. And for a Territory War focused guild like Core Patrol this is a massive, massive statement. But look, Ram, I want your opinion on this, mate, because, of course, I've got my opinions, but I'd love to hear your thoughts, concerning this huge call. It's a massive, massive call. It really is.
No, this was initially put out by Arnold, and it broke everybody that I talked to. We saw this and we're like, we never expected a big guild to do something like this, but they're doing it to send a statement that CG is making us spend way too much time in this game. This game is not becoming a game anymore. It's becoming a job.
Yep.
And it's burning out a lot of players. We've covered this multiple times on Rogue Actions, Heinze. Burning out is a huge issue right now. So anything that can be done to kind of fix that and alleviate the pressure, I'm sure a lot of players are for it. But I mean, Call specifically, by doing this, they're essentially skipping an entire Datacron set. Set 9 is getting ready to come out, and they're just foregoing the entire thing of it. Yeah, if you don't, they even specifically said if you don't care about GAC, there's no reason to go after set 9 at all. So, this has huge impact for at least the top tier. Yeah, they're foregoing rewards, but then they kind of broke it down mathematically, which is cool, I thought. that they can kind of make up more of it, as they go along, or at least break even, depending on how much they spend. That being the top guild, they are consistent top spenders. So let's just go ahead and put that out there. These guys wail.
They're not going to miss rewards. They're not going to miss out on rewards. They're not going to notice that they're even missing them. Make no mistake.
No. They want a Relic 9, they're going to get a Relic 9. That's the name of the game. So, but I'm hoping that this has very good impact for the rest of the player base. I'm hoping that this is a wake-up call for CG or whoever needs to see it. And, who knows? Maybe other guilds will partake in this in some form or fashion.
All right, so let's talk about that. So firstly, I have heard that certainly CG are aware of this. I have heard that. I'm not going to say the sources because that's not what I do, but I know for a fact that certainly it has reached their offices. They're aware of what this means and what the plan of attack is for Core Patrol to do this. They're aware of this. Now, I don't know what that means, and what I mean by that is I don't know whether there's going to be a reaction or not, whether there's going to be a change or not. I have no idea, but I know that they've been made aware of this. It hasn't gone unnoticed. Let's just leave it at that, and we'll see how the rest plays out in the coming weeks, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot more talked about it down the track. But we've seen protests done in the past with this game, Ram, and that's what I wanted to get to. We've seen, people talking about, foregoing certain things in this game to try and send a message that, hey, look, we don't want to be pushed around. You make a game that for us, it's not for you. Yes, you get a ton of money out of it, but it's the game that we love, and we want better whatever in the game. We've seen protests before like this. Mm-hmm. This is completely different though, especially being a top tier guild, that are doing this. In the past, that hasn't been the case. It's been more individual, but. Will it have an impact, Ram? If you've got a crystal ball, we look a couple of months down the track. Is it gonna have any impact or not? I mean, that's the question. Or is it just the guild going, you know what? We want to freshen our players up. We want to keep them nice and fresh and mentally, in a good place because the game's draining right now, and it's just more of a personal situation. Or will it actually create the impact that I think that we all want? I think that's the question, Ram. What do you think, dude?
It's CG's call. The ball is in CG's court, right? We all hope that there's going to be change, but we've all seen. I mean, you've seen it, Heinze. I've seen it. I mean, Maul Pills is a great example.
Yep.
Maul Pills, huge spender in this game. Great friend of multiple streaming communities.
Yep.
Up and quit after months of trying to get it to CG that, hey, we're unhappy, and he just like, I'm done. So, and that's just one instance. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of instances of that already, and little to no action from CG. So, time will tell, but I don't know.
I hope that it does, but I fear it won't. And that's the issue that I've got. I want it to certainly send a powerful statement. And again, hopefully we hear more from the Core Patrol guys in the coming week or so publicly, what the status is. I think that we all want to hear, a lot more from that side of things. And kudos, of course, to Arnold. I didn't mean to gloss over Arnold, bring it out. He did a fantastic job, bring it to everyone's attention. So kudos to you, bro. Make no mistake, total respect. But it's one of those situations where I want it to make some sort of impact. I want it to certainly drive some sort of a change to either, reduce, the burden that we have as players right now, and of course encourage people that used to play the game maybe to come back for whatever reason. And there's no simple solution for that. There's no silver bullet for it. But any sort of progress or positivity has to be better than none that, at the moment that we just seem to be absolutely overrun by stuff to do. And I know that the first thing people are going to say, right, in the comments, I know, we're going to say it's like, oh, you suck because, there's not enough to do in the game. And then, next thing you know, we have too much stuff in the game and then you're complaining that there's too much to do. You can't find the balance. Guys, it's not up to us to make those decisions. It's up to the people that make the game to get the balance right. It's not our fault that it's not. And if you don't like it, we're not commenting just to be a bunch of sooks. We're just calling it as we see it and what again, our communities are saying to us. So, if you're going to run in the comments going, oh, you guys complain because you say there's not enough and now there is, No, it's the quality of the content that's the problem. It's just overburdened for what it is. And some of the stuff going on lately in the game, it's just honestly, it's just to the point where it's not enjoyable. And that's the frustrating part. It feels like a job. It's a second job for so many people. The impact on leagues.
100%. And I mean, Isaac, you know this, content creators, we know this, right? We have our real lives. We have our families, we have our friends, we have, a real life job, in a lot of cases, a lot of us have actual jobs. And then we come home and we have to do content creation, and that in and of itself is a job, right?
Can be.
And then you have this game. And so some of us are working, if you put it in that perspective, some of us are working 3, maybe 4 full-time jobs when you put this game for a video game. And then you have people that are officers of guilds, and maybe TW officers, or maybe guild leaders, or maybe TB officers, and there's a lot of thought that goes into that.
That to me is the big one. That to me is the big one, because with the creation and stuff like that, that's our choice to do that. That we're making that decision. So that's not
absolutely.
I don't see that as really anything to complain about.
It's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all.
No, not at all. But if we want to put that time in, and if you want to, certainly, make good quality content, that takes time, and that's your call. But yeah, the issue and what I was going to cover next was the officers and the leaders. And I mean, I'm a leader, right? And it's rough. It is harder than it's ever been in this game, in my opinion, for a long, long time. It really is, to retain, your guild members and keep them keep them ticking over and not burning out. It's really, really rough. And then you've got the officers, which honestly, it's a thankless volunteer task. It's volunteer. They make nothing out of it. There's no extras for what you and I get in our inbox to be an officer or a leader. Honestly, there's no bonuses in any way, shape, or form. They do it because they want to be, they want to help the guild to be as successful as possible out of their own time and effort. And it's just completely undervalued in so many cases for all of us. Ram, you've seen it. You've been one as well in the past, mate. I know you're not at the moment, but you've been, I think, wasn't it a leader? You've been an officer. You've been in and around it for a long time previously, and it's a thankless task, mate. It really is. I can't give enough kudos myself. You just can't,
No, I mean, especially, at least from my perspective, the top guilds, the TW officers deserve a huge shout out. On the lower end guilds, my alt guild, shout out to the guild officers and the leaders in there. Those guys, we crush it week in, week out with what we got. And what we got is not always 100% performance from the entire guild. But they do what they can.
Yep.
So the officers is a huge job. And, any way that CG can lift a burden a little bit and just lift the stress of it, I would imagine everybody should be for.
We're not making it up. It's a problem. It's an inherent problem, straight up. We don't make this stuff up. Yeah. So let us know in the comments below. Again, from all of us, every single player, if you get 2 seconds, guys, thank your officers. They're doing it for nothing. Give them just some love. Just say, hey, thanks very much for all the hard work you put in. It takes 2 seconds, but it makes a difference, because a lot of the time people think that their work is just not even being noticed. You can't thank them enough. Make no mistake. So don't forget to thank your officers and stuff like that, guys, for all the hard work they put in, because really, it's a thankless task. A lot of the times, they feel like that no one gives us stuff, and we all do. Make no mistake, we just get caught up with our own stuff, and we just forget to obviously recognize it from time to time. So yeah, I just want to say that straight away. That's it.
Absolutely.
So anyway, hopefully there's some sort of resolution. Hopefully there's some sort of benefit out of it. Hopefully, certainly, territory war is their main focus. They want changes to territory war. We've seen the spread. We've seen obviously all of the messages that have been put out there, and territory war absolutely needs an overhaul. And maybe that's another topic down the track. What can be done there? Maybe we'll talk about that next week. Ram, we'll make sure that we put that in our topics for next week. But guys, hopefully there's some sort of benefit that comes out of this action, because we can't underrate how huge this is. Honestly, it is a big call. So, guys, kudos to Core Patrol for being on the front foot about it all, and hopefully it's worthwhile for you, straight up. And we'll see what the result is, and whether other guilds will follow suit or not. That'll be an interesting thing too. So, let us know in the comments below what you guys think. Other topic I want to talk about today is the Squish. we need to talk about the Squish, and people don't know what the hell the Squish is. Long story short, matchmaking GAC. If you move from Kyber 2, say, to Kyber 1, for instance, if you're right on the fringe, after every tournament, season, whatever you want to call it, they adjust the rankings back, and quite often the majority, people that are on the fringe of Kyber 1 get squished back to Kyber 2 again, over and over and over again. We know of course, Rangers in this situation almost every month, just as an example, to give us an idea. We talk to him about it from time to time. It must be really, really disheartening. It's not something that I've had to deal with personally, so it's pretty hard for me to speak, to talk about, to be honest, from a point of view that I know what it's like, because I've never been in that position myself. I'm not being a smart ass. I'm just calling it as it is. But Ram, you would probably know a lot more people that have been affected by the Squish, consistently than I would. But yeah, certainly. Do you want to give your opinion on what your thought about the Squish is? I mean, is it needed? Is there a better system that we could run with? Is there a better option? What do you think, Ram? I'd love to hear your opinion, brother. Really would.
No, this is my opinion. The Squish sucks. It sucks, right? It's just garbage. It needs to go away. They need to do a different system. What that system could be, I don't know. But it is trash. The big account, right? The big account that I'm in. I am now in the Squish. I'm gonna tell you why I'm in the Squish. It's not because 5v5. I've got a cool story to tell you about that one. Here we go. It's not because of 5v5. 5v5 I generally do fairly well. But then what happens every other month? 3v3. And we all know how Ram Bam feels about 3v3.
Yeah, he loves it.
And how bad of a game mode it is.
He loves it. He loves it.
I'll lose constantly, get put right down into Kyber 2, then climb back up into Kyber 1. And then what happens? The Squish. And then 5v5 comes around. And I do fairly well. And I get, a couple hundred points into Kyber 1. And then the Squish, and it puts me right back on that fringe right before 3v3, and I drop right down again. And it's just it's demoralizing, right? Point blank, end all be all. That's what it is. It's demoralizing because it does the opposite effect of what I think they intend it to do. I think they intend it to promote competitiveness in the game, and I'm gonna get squished. Let me try to do better so I can get up higher. But the opposite effect, I think, happens for a lot of players, because at least myself included, I know that I'm in the Squish. And I'm like, well, there's no way out, right? There's no point to try to get up there, because eventually I'm just going to get hit by the Squish again, especially with this rotation of every other month being 3v3, which is a game mode that a lot of players, not myself included, despise. And then you get in this rotation of, well, what's the point? Right? Yeah. Cause and effect, right? Kyber 1's 900 crystals, Kyber 2's 875 or whatever. Okay, I'm losing 25 crystals every payout. Is it worth the hassle of trying to get up into Kyber 1, or do I just stay in Kyber 2 where I'll be safe for quite a while? Yeah. Because it's much, much, much larger. So
yeah, I could see certainly how frustrating that would be. The only way I could think of a system, just off the top of my head, would be just to reset the leaderboard periodically, like they do with Territory Wars. I mean, why can't we do that? I mean, why Squish? Of course, the issue is keeping people regulated in the particular leagues, right? That's what it's all about. They just don't want everyone ending up in Kyber 1, and I understand that that's certainly a problem mathematically. But that's only because, the leaderboard doesn't change. Like you've had people that are, in first place previously after the matchmaking, and they've been in front that they could not even play a GAC round for 3 months and still stay number 1. That's how ridiculous the system gets. To be honest, there's something not quite right with that. Reset the leaderboards. It's pretty simple. Reset the leaderboard every 3 months, 4 months. Take your pick. I don't care. Doesn't matter. Get rid of the Squish, reset the leaderboards, and go from there. But that's just my instant dumb Australian opinion. Maybe it's too simple. Maybe it's, not enough. Let us know in the comments below. Let us know if you've got a better system, so at least we can raise the issue, because I just feel for those that, have worked their butt off to get into Kyber 1, And to get, those extra awards and the crystals and bits and pieces that they get in Kyber 1, only to be kicked in the nuts back to Kyber 2 again because they're close but not quite there yet. No. You made Kyber 1, you should stay in Kyber 1. That's fair. If you lose, you drop back. That's pretty simple. So anyway, let us know in the comments below what you guys think. We'd love to hear from you guys as well.
Absolutely.
We've got another 3 top picks, of course, another 3 on Ram's channel. We're going to scoot over there. We're going to talk about, do we need more battle times, some crate raid fixes that we want to see as well, and of course, nice big Ram rage. So we're going to have some fun with that one over there. Don't you forget, guys. Of course, please, thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. It really, really helps us grow the channel. We'd really, really appreciate all the support, of course, as well. Link will be for Rams below. We'll see you again next week, guys. Have a good one. We'll be around soon. Bye.